The MyPillow guy, who's still a MAGA stalwart and living in his own universe with all of his conspiracy theories, was just served with a major lawsuit, and he was served with the paperwork while doing an interview, so we get to see the video ourselves. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, former state attorney for Palm Beach County, aka the Florida lawman, back here on the MeidasTouch network. Thanks for your support. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Also, let's check out the video, because I promised you the video, right? So this is the video of the MyPillow guy getting served while doing an interview at CPAC.
Into our country, most of them break a law within the first 3 months. Most of them, we're on TV here, please. We're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay. We're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay, we're on TV, please.
What are you serving him with?
We're on TV, please. We're on TV,
what are you serving him with?
I'm not accepting it.
What are you trying to serve? Ma'am,
we're on TV, please.
Yes.
We're on TV, please. Okay.
So while he's doing this interview, he was confronted with a lawsuit from according to Yahoo News, a brunette female in a red dress who states, "Hi, sorry to interrupt. I have this for you. You've been served." It's like that movie. Lindell responded to the woman's interruption by trying to move her out of the way and repeatedly stating, "We're on TV here, please. We're on TV, please. Okay, we're on TV." Now, that is not immunity from a lawsuit. It's not a get out of jail free card. Being on TV only means it's more embarrassing because you're getting served on TV where it's recorded, and we get the deliciousness of watching you squirm while this very tenacious woman, she's getting her money as a process server. She's definitely earning her paycheck. She required him to take the document because he's being served. You just can't say, nope, on TV, I'm not taking anything. It's not how it works. And when he finally relented, he took the papers from her and then threw it off camera behind him. So we don't know exactly the details of this lawsuit yet, but we do know that it's been a tough week for Mike Lindell because he lost his bid to overturn a defamation verdict tied to the 2020 election. Yes, he's been hit with all these things that are going to potentially bankrupt the guy. I mean, the guy went from being a drug addict living on the streets to making some real money selling these pillows, especially to conservative outlets, to now spending his money on all these conspiracy theories and rabbit holes he goes down, and now he has to pay up, and it's not going well for him or his business. And about that lawsuit, well, Judge Nina Wang, federal judge, she rejected a post-trial motion from Lindell that challenged his verdict in a civil case that found him and his media company liable of defaming Dominion voting system employee Eric Coomer. Now, this was a $2 million verdict, and now Lindell is going to have to pay it. So what happened was Lindell and his peeps were targeting this employee from Dominion who apparently was the one who was really responsible for rigging the election in favor of Joe Biden. Well, this poor guy got harassed online, and Lindell was at the center of it, and now he's going to have to pay. Yes, there are consequences in this world, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like everyone in office has to face consequences for their speech and their actions. But when it comes to some of Trump's biggest supporters, like the MyPillow guy, yeah, he's going to face consequences all the way to the poorhouse. And if you're wondering what the scorecard is with Mike Lindell and all these claims against him, well, I mentioned the Eric Coomer case. That's the one where Lindell called him a traitor, a criminal on his platform, and he's now going to have to pay over $2 million in damages. And now a federal judge said its verdict stands, but that's not the only one. I mean, there's also the one involving Smartmatic. Smartmatic is another voting machine company, and Smartmatic sued Lindell and MyPillow for over $1 billion. Yes, you think you got problems with a $2 million verdict? How about $1 billion? They alleged he intentionally spread lies about their voting machines. Yes. September 2025, a federal judge in Minnesota issued a major ruling in this case saying that, yes, Lindell's statements about Smartmatic were indeed false and defamatory. And so now it's heading towards a jury trial later this year to determine whether Lindell acted with actual malice and to set the final damage amount. You got to prove actual malice when you're going after a public figure. That's according to the Supreme Court case of New York Times v. Sullivan. And so it's a higher burden, but yeah, you got to believe Lindell acted with actual malice because he was told over and over and over again that the election was legit. There was no widespread election fraud, and he pursued these claims anyways, and now he's got to pay. But that's not all. Now, the Zeidman case is one that I've always been interested in because remember, that was the Prove Mike Wrong challenge. Well, that one he actually gets to enjoy some semblance of a victory because even though he was proven wrong about election fraud, remember he challenged people, said, here is proof of election fraud, prove me wrong. And then you had this software expert, Robert Zeidman, who did prove him wrong. And he sued for breach of contract and went to arbitration, and the arbiter ruled for Zeidman. And Lindell is saying, well, I still don't have to pay. And he hid behind the specific wording of the contest contract. I guess there's some technicality in there. And indeed, a federal appeals court overturned, they voided the payout. They overturned the arbitration award based on some technicality in the contract, not because the guy didn't prove him wrong. And earlier this year, the Supreme Court declined to hear Zeidman's appeal. So Lindell won't have to pay out the $5 million to that one, but he's still in deep you-know-what because he's got unpaid legal fees. In fact, his own defense law firm, they're suing him for unpaid legal fees. That's what led them to withdraw from cases in 2023, 2024. FedEx served him with a lawsuit for $9 million in unpaid fees last year. A judge last year also ordered MyPillow to pay $780,000 to DHL for unpaid debts. So you got FedEx, DHL, all these shipping companies against him. And then MyPillow has faced multiple eviction lawsuits for unpaid warehouse rent in Minnesota. Several facilities have been cleared out. He says he's millions of dollars in debt. He's also said these lawsuits are a coordinated effort to silence him. Yes, he's going to go down with the ship. You think if this doesn't tell you you're going in the wrong direction, dude, what will? Well, maybe bankruptcy, maybe the poorhouse, but it's not going to get any better for Mike Lindell because he keeps spouting out lies, and the lies will keep coming back to haunt him. And we'll keep following here on the MeidasTouch Network. I'm Dave Aronberg, aka the Florida Lawman. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, share with a friend, leave a comment below. Also check out my Substack at Dave Aronberg. You can find me over there. You can also find me on Legal AF as part of the MeidasTouch Network. And you can find me here on the mothership on the MeidasTouch Network next time.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.